You know, it's a really bold claim to say that any rifle or pistol is perfect, but I'm going to show you one today that might just be the most perfect pistol. This is the CZ Bren 2 MS, and I'm going to show you all the features, what makes it unique, what makes it really awesome in my opinion, and talk about the pros and cons, and I'm going to take you to the range with me. And so I also am comparing this one to the Spear LT from SIG. And so both of them are chambered in 7.62 by 39. So if you like what I do, rifles, pistols, all of that stuff right here on the channel, consider subscribing and hit your notifications so you never miss a video from me. I do a lot of videos just like this, pistol reviews, concealed carry, everything gun related, all in one place. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, interestingly enough, Czechoslovakia was the only Warsaw Pact country to have not adopted the AK-47 or AKM. What they made was the VZ58, which on the outside looks pretty much like an AK, although it does use a short stroke gas piston, so a little bit different on the internals. But in 2006, they replaced it with the CZ805 Bren, which is what this is derived from. And it's pretty obvious what CZ did with the Bren 2 compared to the 805 Bren. They Americanized it. Because there's one thing that American shooters will be very vocal about, and that's what they like and what they really don't like about their guns. And so as opposed to having a paddle release, we now have a standard magazine release like an AR that is ambidextrous, by the way. We also have the charging handle, which is just like the 805, but it's non-reciprocating. Now, one cool feature of this gun is it actually has a bolt release and a catch right here in the front of the trigger guard. It has a traditional bolt release on the left-hand side as well, but I really like this. It's super convenient. You push that up, boom, you want to lock it in place. Now, one thing you don't want to do, like me, is when you drop the bolt, you actually have your hand right there like you're going to fire it. At least you don't want to have it too far backwards, because when you go to release that, boom, that bolt comes forward, and because of this extending charging handle that my buddy put on there, it literally ripped the skin off my wrist. So just take my warning right there. There you go. But it is a really cool feature to have that integrated into the trigger guard. It is a really smart design, and I'm a big time fan of it. I'm also a fan of this safety. This is another thing that my friend changed. He also changed the trigger on here. But other than that, it's, you know, pretty much stock. And so it's got a 45-degree throw on the safety, really easy to get from both sides. Shell deflector. This is a carbon fiber infused polymer. And so one thing they wanted to do is shave the weight on the CZ Bren 2. And I think they achieved that by making, you know, a few minor changes. And this one, as you see it with the 9-inch barrel without all of this stuff on it, of course, is 5 pounds 4 ounces. 11-inch version, 14-inch version. And the difference between the 9-inch to the 14-inch is like a half a pound. And so they did a good job at shaving some of that weight. The pistol you can get in 7.62 by 39 or 5.56. Now they also have a carbine version of the Bren 2. That one's only chambered in 5.56, unfortunately. I say that I like 5.56 rifles, but I just like 7.62 by 39. It's a hard hitting round, and I enjoy shooting it. I don't know. There's not really a great reason for it, I guess. But you know, I think this, you know, it does a really good job, right? It's a hard hitting round, and especially within 300 yards, it's a monster, man. It does a really good job. Hit.
Yep. There you go. That's it, baby.
Yeah.
Come right. There you go. Yep. Yep. Yep.
All right, I'm going to try to go to 400.
All right.
Now, he actually has a 4-time magnification ACOG, which I am now a true believer in the Trijicon ACOG, because this thing is incredible. Even at 300 and 400 yards, I felt super confident being able to see the target at 4x magnification. Pretty much, it's pretty insane, dude. I really fell in love with this thing when I was at the range with it. It's got an RMR on top of that, so a really nice setup. Picatinny rail goes all the way up. You got a modular front end, so just a few screws, you take those off. If you want to change this front end, you can. You also have an adjustable gas system, so I just kept it in the straight up, kind of, horizontal, in line with the rail, and it ran fine with the Sandman K suppressor. But if you need to change this, you can actually just press this lever down and boom, move it over. It'll click into place, and there you go. Looking good?
Yeah.
We do have sling swivels that are integrated into the front and into the back of the receiver here. And we also have a much more comfortable grip back here. CZ does a really good job, or they have done a really good job specifically with these grips. It feels basically just like the 3 Plus carbine. And so overall, a really awesome setup, man. Running an SB Tactical brace on the back right here. It's actually one of the collapsible ones. And yeah, overall, man, this thing is a really awesome setup. And I was interested to see that while we were at the range, shooting it from the bench, from a rest, you really don't feel a ton of recoil, right? There's a lot going on with the gun. Non-reciprocating charging handle. It is a fairly loud gun. I mean, with a 9-inch barrel and an intermediate cartridge like the 7.62x39, I was not expecting more felt recoil, but maybe just more jumpiness in the gun, I guess you will. But I really didn't see that. I felt a gun that was overall just super smooth. And it's one of those pistols, even the rifle version I'm sure is the same way. When you move the charging handle, especially with the slightly extended one, it's smooth as butter. And they really, it's like when you look at an $800 AR compared to an $1,800 rifle like this, those small changes is what you start to really notice. Adjustable gas system, modular front end, backup sights that are actually pretty decent, side charging handle. The action is super smooth. By the way, this also doubles as a forward assist. The additional lever right here, the release. I think overall, I was just really impressed with the recoil management and how smooth the rifle was under sustained fire.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's pretty much it as far as features. Breakdown, you push this one pin right here. Boom. Trigger pack. Everything you need. Boom. Right there. Cleaned it up. You're good to go. Push this pin for the brace. Recoil spring. Guide rod. Bolt. That's how it's done. Simple. Effective. Doesn't take a lot to get this thing cleaned. And yeah, this thing is dirty. Of course, we ran it suppressed the whole time. And it did just fine, man. I kept it in that position that it's in and didn't have to change a thing. And overall, it did a really nice job. Slide the bolt back in. Recoil spring goes in. Back of the receiver. Boom. So it's obviously super dirty after shooting it suppressed. I'm going to go wash my hands. You enjoy some of the range footage.
You're all over it. touch lower.
To the right, come to the left. It's pretty impressive what you can do with a 9-inch pistol. You know, at 300 yards, I could ring that steel all day long. My buddy that I was with, you know, he was like, man, is it worth buying something like this? He doesn't get to shoot a lot. And so we were out there with him, and he was like, you know, is this worth buying, you know, when you spend this kind of money? And the results kind of spoke for themselves. After he shot it, he was like, okay, now I get it. You know, so it's just that smooth, man. It's super accurate. Like I said, at 300 yards, I felt totally confident with this thing. And I just think overall, since we won our pistol brace thing, would it be better SBR'd? Yeah, maybe. But you don't have the limitations, you know, like you do with an SBR if you put one of the braces on here. So I think overall, if I were to grade it for what it is, I'd say like a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, it really is that good. It's solidified my decision to actually buy one of these. And I think I would buy a pistol, especially with the whole pistol brace thing, as far as we stand right now, anyways. And I just think overall, I really love this design. I love everything about it. Not only am I a believer in that Trijicon ACOG for sure, and I will be getting one to throw at least on one of my rifles, but I am a believer in the CZ Bren 2MS. It just does a lot of things really well. And by the way, the carbine version and 5.56 version use AR pattern magazines, so that's a bonus too if you go with that one. As far as any cons, it's expensive, but I think it's one of those rifles that is that's worth it. It really is that good, and so I'm super impressed. I absolutely love this thing. I'd love to hear any of the Bren owners, future Bren owners, or you know, just what do you like about this rifle? Maybe what don't you like? Maybe things that you've changed on your particular, I keep saying rifle, but pistol. Let me know down below. Big thanks to you guys for watching. If you want to support what we do, you can do that through Patreon, or you can join right here on YouTube and never have to leave the site. Big thanks to you guys. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.